Welcome to the Car Guys. I'm here at Meridien Modena in Lyndhurst for the UK launch of the F8 Tributo, the new V8 twin-turbo Ferrari. And earlier on today, I got to see this car up close. So I'm going to take you along to have a look at it in detail away from Geneva. And the big question is, do we really need this car? Is it really necessary? Is it something we should get? Okay, so we're here, we've just arrived at Meridien Modena in Lyndhurst and we're here to see the new F8 Tributo. It's through these doors behind me. We get to have a good look round, open it all up, have a look at every aspect of the car and decide on whether we should get one of these for the Car Guys collection. Let's go inside. So with the wraps off, the thing that strikes you straight away is how aggressive the new front nose is. The front radiators on the F8 are taken straight from the Challenge car and they're actually tilted back towards the rear. There's an awful lot of aerodynamics going on. The lights are sharper and there's also some air intakes just above the headlights to channel air through. The S-duct is obviously very dramatic as it is on the Pista. The F8 over the 488 GTB is 40% greater downforce. 15% of that comes from the S-duct at the front and 25% comes from the rear wing. The new rear of the car has been specifically designed to evoke memories of the 308 GTB and I think it does that pretty successfully. You've got 4 brake lights from the GTC4 Lusso, so they are striking, it works incredibly well, makes the back look really wide actually, even though it's about the same as the Pista. You have this duct here underneath, these diffusers right underneath the main big wing, obviously a large amount of carbon on the back for the diffuser, just a lot of aero going on, and then obviously this big Pista inspired wing on the back for maximum downforce. So it's a very dramatic shape. I think it looks spectacular, the rear of this car. It really is very purposeful, so much better than the 488. You've got that incredible Lexan plastic boot lid on the back there, evoking memories of the F40. But just look at it, look at the vents that you've got tucked in there, so much aero going on. The Lexan is open to the elements at all time to help engine cooling, and in fact, the air being channeled into the engine in this car is 15% cooler than the outgoing models, which is pretty impressive. That's all to do with all those vents. 4-litre V8 twin-turbo engine. The engine itself develops 770 Newton meters of torque. It delivers 710 horsepower at 8,000 RPM. Interior, as you can see here, this one's black leather. Fairly standard actually, I mean not really that different from the 488. You can see a smaller steering wheel, all the buttons and everything a little bit smaller. It's very GTC4 Lusso again. Everything else quite similar for 488 owners. That's the new Menatino. As you can see there, it's a nice smart driver focused cockpit, but nothing tremendously different. So you can definitely feel that the steering wheel is smaller. It's really comfortable actually. Okay, so I've just come out of the presentation with the F8 Tributo. What are my first thoughts? Well, I love the look of it. It's so much nicer looking than the 488 GTB. The front end is a lot more aggressive, it's a lot more pointy. I'm loving the new S-duct right on the front there, just like the Pista. I actually do love the back of it. The new 4 tail lights and the big Pista wing on it, huge big wing. I have to say I do love that, although one of the people that was in there with me did say they thought it looked like a Nissan Skyline GTR, which I think is a bit harsh. I think the Lexan plastic cover on the back, which harks back to the F40, is fantastic. You're not going to get that with the Spider version, which will be announced later on in the year, but I do think that's a really, really cool touch. One of the things I am a bit annoyed about is that the F8, before it was launched, was sold to me as if it was going to be the last of the line of the V8s, the last ever Ferrari V8. Turbocharged, yes, maybe, but this was going to be the ultimate one. As it turns out, that is not the case. The V8 will continue. It'll be turbocharged, it'll have some KERS aspects to it, some electricery, it will carry on. So the car has to stand up on its own merits. And actually in this case, I think it probably does. We have to remember the Tributo element of the F8, and that's a tribute to the V8 engines that Ferrari has run since the 360 in 1999. So it's 20 years since that 360, and that's very much what this is a tribute to. There's no tribute plaque, there's no special livery at all on the car. But for me, the biggest disappointment is the interior, because it's basically the same as the 488 and the Pista. You've got a smaller steering wheel, which is nice, it's good to hold, it is an improvement. Apart from that, there's very little else that's different. But how can you not be impressed with the performance? This is a ludicrously fast car. It's every bit as fast as a Pista. Don't let anyone tell you different. 0 to 60, 2.9 seconds. 0 to 100 is 7.8 seconds. Top speed, 211 miles an hour, 211. 710 brake horsepower, 720 PS, whatever that means. And it's got a proper full weight of 1,435 kilograms. This is Ferrari's most powerful non-special series V8. This is a standard car. Remember, the F8 is just your bog standard replacement for the 488. It may be as fast as a Pista, but that's the new benchmark, folks. So you're now going to be able to get Pista performance for the price just over of a 488, and more importantly, you're actually going to be able to buy this. You're actually going to be able to walk into a Ferrari dealer right now, put down a deposit and get a car. So if you've just got a Pista, admittedly it's a limited run car, so there are less of them, so you're still ahead of the game, but performance wise, to launch a car that's as fast will be much cheaper and much more available is, I think, a little bit naughty. It's a little bit of a worrying sign of what's happening to Ferrari now that it's a part public company, and that never-ending surge by shareholders to deliver even bigger profits. And that means more models, faster paced innovation, faster paced launch patterns, and you are going to get this happening a lot more. And it does make me a little bit worried for the future in buying Ferraris, because with this pace of development and pace of obsolescence, you're not really going to enjoy your brand new Ferrari, even special ones, for very long. So the big question is, am I going to buy one? Do I think there's going to be an F8 Tributo in the Car Guys garage in the future? Well, having seen the car fully and now understanding what it's all about, I think the answer is probably yes. Yes, there is. It is a very, very pretty, fast Ferrari that I could probably use every day and not have to worry about it being a limited car. So it's actually sometimes quite nice to have something like that where you can put the miles on. You're not as scared about devaluing it with the miles. I think I'd quite happily, in a heartbeat, trade in the 488 against an F8. I mean, literally, the decision is instant. You'd be mad to keep your 488 now that you've got an F8 on the horizon. Even on the Ferrari website, the 488 GTB is now gone. The F8 is already replaced it. If you've just got your 488 GTB, you should be quite annoyed right now. If you've had your 488 for about a year, it's time to trade in. You better get rid of it now and get one of these on order if you haven't already. I've asked one of the earliest cars possible so that you guys can get to experience with me as soon as possible. So probably the start of 2020, that's when the F8 is going to arrive. So there we have it, a view of the F8 Tributo early on, so you can see exactly what you think of it. I think, having seen it in the flesh, it is an absolutely stunning car. It's ridiculously fast, and I'm quite excited about it, actually. If you put your name down now, I think you probably only got 12 to 15 months to wait. Thanks for watching the video, guys. Hope you enjoyed this look at the F8 Tributo. The Car Guys should be getting theirs at the start of 2020, so we'll join you then for the first drive of that car, and also we'll be speccing the car probably in the next 3 to 4 months. So join us for that.